Hey everyone, how's it going? This is Ben here, and if you're a beginner guitarist or you're just starting out or looking for a place to start, you've come to the right channel. So in today's lesson, we're going to be looking at the famous song Knocking on Heaven's Door, and which was originally by Bob Dylan. I grew up listening to the Eric Clapton version, which is a beautiful version. It's also been made very famous by Guns N' Roses as well. That's a classic song as well. So in this lesson though, what I'm going to do is take you through a rhythm pattern that may not necessarily be, there's not one rhythm pattern for all the different versions, and you're going to see many people play it in many different ways. But this is just one that I've come up with that I think is relevant and reasonably easy to get started with and sounds great. Okay, so to start with, we're going to look at the actual rhythm. So it's in what's called eighth notes. So the way that I teach is by using I'll be talking about all the correct rhythm terminologies that are used, and because so many times I've seen on a lot of videos is that they'll teach you how to do the strumming pattern by just going down, down, up, down, up, that sort of thing, which can get confusing, and it's not actually giving you quite enough information to be able to understand how to do the correct strumming patterns. So stick with me with this. I also have a in-depth step-by-step course taking you from very beginning all the way through to intermediate to advanced player, to basically teach yourself any song you want to learn how to play. So to start with, we're going to look at the first rhythm pattern, the first main one, which is starting with a quarter note, followed by 2 eighth notes, followed by a quarter note, then 2 eighth notes again to make up the bar. So we've got 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 1, 2, and 3. So what I'm doing here with this hand here is just muting the strings on the guitar, so it makes no sound at all. If you're getting that sound, that means you're holding down the strings too tightly with this hand. Just loosen it up and just barely touch the strings. It creates this, it's almost like a snare effect. All right, so to start with again, we're going to be looking at 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 1, 2, and 3, 4, and. Okay, so the next part we're going to look at is the chords for this song. The reason why this is a great song to start with is because it covers most of the first 5 essential chords that you should learn how to play. Starting with, we've got the G chord, the D chord, A minor, and C. The 5th one is E minor if you're interested. All right, so to start with, the first 3 chords that we're going to learn is G, and then it's D, and then A minor, and the A minor goes for 2 bars. To start with though, with the G chord, we're going to be going 1, 2, and 3, 4, and so the rhythm pattern we're doing before. 1, 2, and 3, 4. And then we move to the D chord. 2 and 3, 4 and. Then to A minor. 2 and 3, 4 and. Now I mentioned before, there's 2 bars of A minor So for the second bar for now, it'd be good to just practice going all straight eighth notes for that last bar. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So the way that looks all together is 1, 2 and 3, 4 and 1, 2 and 3, 4 and 1, 2 and 3, 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Okay? So that's where to start. Now, the second half of the chord progression for this song is basically, it's made up of 8 bars, and then it just loops that 8 bar round for the whole song. That's why it's one of the easiest songs, a good easy song to start with. For the second round, it's almost the same, except we're doing G, so the same rhythm pattern again. 1, 2 and 3, 4 and then D, 1, 2 and 3, 4 and then we swap the A minor with the C chord. 1, 2 and 3, 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Okay, so if you're happy with that, then we would just leave it there. But if you wanted to learn a little bit more advanced rhythm technique for the very last bar of each of those rounds, we're now going to look at what's called ties. So if we have a look, you can see in the diagram above me here, you can see we've tied the offbeat after beat 1 to beat 2, which means when they're tied together, means that we actually skip playing beat 2. So it would be 1 and 2. So we're skipping it. Then we play the offbeat after 2, skip beat 3 because it's tied, and then it's the offbeat after beat 3, which is an upstroke. The offbeats are always an upstroke when we're talking eighth notes. Then it's down on beat 4, and then up on the offbeat after beat 4. So it's 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So basically, we're just skipping beat 2 and beat 3. So it's important that you still almost pretend to play or strum those beats, because we want to be ready in the upstroke position to come back up. So again, it's 1, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. So again, it's 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. So then repeat that over and over again until you get really comfortable with it. So sorry, I was using the G chord then, but you should really be. It doesn't really. You can even just start with the muted strums again. So it'd be 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. I like to use, for everything that I'm learning, I like to use my metronome, whether that's a standalone metronome. I've got videos talking about all the types of metronomes and the ones that I recommend. Usually you can get one as an app on your phone or on your iPad. That's the one I usually use. But basically, you want to set the metronome nice and slow and then practice that rhythm pattern. Okay? So once we've got that rhythm pattern, the next part is to try to put it together. So it's on the 4th bar of each of the 4 bars. So for the first round, we'd play a G, 1, 2 and 3, 4 and, then D, 1, 2 and 3, 4 and, then A minor, 2 and 3, 4 and, then 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Okay? So for the second round, it would be 1, 2 and 3, 4 and D, 2 and Okay, so that, and then we just repeat those 8 bars over and over again to make up the song. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 1, 2, and 3, 4, 1, and 2, and 3, and 4. Okay, so start out super slow, use your metronome to lock it into place, and then slowly build it up to your desired speed. 60 BPM is a good goal to start with. Besides that, there's the song, and then it's a matter of, you know, learning to sing and play is a whole different ball game. But that, at least this way, you can, you know, sit around the campfire or at home and entertain some friends by playing along and everybody singing along while you sound great. All right, hope you enjoyed the lesson. We'll see you in the next one.